So you've just finished your form. You're done practicing Tai Chi for the day. So what do you do next? You just get up, brush yourself off, go off to work or school or whatever it is you've got to do next. Or is there another way that you can finish up your Tai Chi practice for the day? Something that might be a little more profound or meaningful to you. Something that'll help you kind of digest your practice as you go on to other ordinary everyday activities. Welcome to Embrace Tai Chi, where we explore Tai Chi principles and training in a way that's useful for you. This is the last of a 5-episode series on the different phases of a full Tai Chi practice. And today we're going to talk about the ending, how we finish our practice for the day. How do we go make that transition between practicing Tai Chi and our other activities, our other daily responsibilities and things that we've got to think about. We also want to kind of review those different phases and how they all interact with our Tai Chi practice. And we'll talk about different ways that we can incorporate those other phases into a practice that makes sense for us. So I hope you'll join us. Now, when we began our series, we talked about this movement. We called it sinking the Qi. It was part of our commencement when we start. We start by kind of taking our internal energies, soothing them out, all of our problems, our issues, our concerns, those things that stress us out, those things that bother us, those things that distract us. Just letting them go for a while, smoothing them, and working on our breathing. And just letting it all go so that we can relax and focus on our Tai Chi practice. At the end of our practice, the close, we want to kind of do the same thing. We want to take all that energy that we've built up, all that warm-up that we've done, all that cultivation that we've done, the circulation that we've done, and we kind of want to soothe it out so that we can begin moving through the rest of our day. So we're going to do the exact same motion as we did with sinking the Qi, where we would keep our feet apart, about shoulder width, hips tucked, back way up, tall, and we kind of bring it up, and from inside, just coming down from the third eye center, down to the heart, and down to the dantian, the hara, our center, our source. We just kind of want to bring all that energy that we've built up and just kind of sink it down. Now for this last part, where we called it sinking the Qi earlier, trying to bring all that Qi down and trying to relax so that we can get into our practice, this time we call it sealing the Qi, or closing it. Okay, we're going to close the box, bring all that energy, all that aliveness that we found from the environment, from the ground, bring it up, just kind of seal it inside, just kind of hold it so that we can digest it. It's funny that it's here in the hara where we do all of our digestion, our stomach, intestines, that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of bring that with us. So it's kind of like eating a big meal. You kind of want to save that energy for later. Okay, it's kind of like how marathon runners will eat a bunch of pasta or something the night before a big race, so that they have that energy to last them throughout the rest of the race the next day. We're doing the same thing with this Qi energy. We're kind of holding it, storing it, so that we can bring it out throughout, our daily lives. So let's go ahead with that together. We're going to bring our feet about, shoulder width apart, hands up, breathing in from all that practice and just letting it settle down. Coming from the third eye, coming from the heart, and all the way down to the source, the center, the hara, the dantian, and storing it right there. Again, breathing in and relaxing. One more time. Breathing in, taking all that we've experienced through our practice and just letting it settle. Maybe just holding there at the end. Just let it hold and relax. Now you kind of go into an alternate state while you're practicing Tai Chi. You're so focused on your motions, holding the principles, foot placement, hip placement, body movement. And that's a good thing. You're kind of giving your brain a break from all the problems and concerns of our everyday life. But now we're going to make that transition. It's kind of like waking up in the morning when you've gone from sleeping and dreaming to that alternate, that new reality of being awake and things that you've got to take care of, whether it's brushing your teeth, making breakfast, getting yourself ready for work or school or whatever it is that you've got to do. We'll kind of go through the same motions there. That as we come out of our Tai Chi practice, instead of just boom, running right into the everyday world, let's just gently slide into it. Let's make a nice transition. So it's almost like a big wake up, like in the morning when you wake up and yawn. It's kind of that feeling, but from here it's like, okay, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, my mother would wake me up in the morning, and it was a pretty rough wake up because, come on, get up, you got to get ready for school, that kind of stuff. Rather than do that, let's have a nice gentle wake up here where it's like, okay, I've done my Tai Chi, balanced myself out, got rid of all that stagnant Chi, cultivated some new energy, circulated it throughout. Now I'm ready to tackle the rest of the day. I'm ready to solve all those new problems with a new vision, a new intention, a new way of looking at it. Okay? Bring yourself up from that Tai Chi practice and bring it into the world around you. Because, really, what other reason is there to practice Tai Chi but to find that center and then to bring it into your everyday life? Whether you're doing that for healing, whether you're doing it for martial arts, whether you're doing it as a spiritual practice, you kind of want to bring your Tai Chi self into the real world. But, we're not going to walk around like monks as we go throughout the day and we're like, it's time to get some coffee in the morning, okay? No, okay? We go about our day like we always do. But we still want to keep that center, that little piece of Tai Chi with us, that balance, that relaxation. You'll find that as you practice Tai Chi, problems that used to bother you a lot will bother you a lot less. People that used to offend you, maybe they don't bother you so much. And you'll find that the principles that you've practiced while doing the art come back to you, and you find that you can handle issues and concerns much easier. At least that's the hope. That's what we're working towards. And it's not something that happens right away. It's something that's pretty gradual, but we can certainly bring it about. So that's why we want to close gently and transition from one state into the other. Now, during this series, we've worked on the commencement, the beginning, where we would sink the Chi, and we would also do our figure 8 motions to get our body used to moving, as we do throughout the form. Figure 8s with the wrists, legs, hips. From there, we went into clearing the Chi, purging it, taking the stagnant Chi that's already with us, the problems, the concerns, the issues that we've got, and just letting them go, throwing them down back into the earth where they can do some good, and taking that stagnant Chi, waking it up, getting it away from us, blowing it out. We worked on cultivating, taking that aliveness up from the earth and from the sky and the environment around us and bringing it all down, storing it. And once we had it stored, we would circulate it, the fourth phase of our training. Doing the actual form, moving with it, trying to keep those principles, those ideas with us as we move throughout the practice. And finally, now we've got the close. So we've got those 4 phases: the commencement, the clearing, the cultivation, circulation, and close. Those are all real important into our practice. And to do them properly, it's going to take quite a while. It wouldn't be anything for a Tai Chi practice to take 2-3 hours if you were to go through each of those things very, very slowly, very, very intentionally, very, very carefully. especially the circulation if you were to run through the entire form that you do. Some of those forms are longer than others. So we want to find ways that we can kind of shorten those to something that works for us. I mean, we all have busy lives, and sometimes just cutting out a half hour is the most we can do. Sometimes it's like 10 minutes. So we have to think about how can we incorporate those 5 pieces into 10 minutes if that's all we've got. Well, it's going to give you 10 minutes is 2 minutes of commencement, sinking the chi and warming up. 2 minutes of clearing, taking out all of those stagnant chi, blowing it from your system. 2 minutes of just standing, cultivating. 2 minutes of some sort of circulation, and then 2 minutes of close. Honestly, close isn't going to take you 2 minutes, maybe 30 seconds. So it gives us a little more time to circulate the chi, I think. So I would do maybe 2 minutes of commencement and warm up, 2 minutes of clearing, probably 2 minutes of cultivation. So that's going to give us, what we've got, 2, 4, 6. That's going to give us about 4 minutes, maybe about 3.5 minutes of circulation, and then 30 seconds just to kind of close, seal the chi, breathe for a few moments, and then go on with the rest of your day. You can also use each of these different phases. You can emphasize one on a certain day. For example, let's say that you can only train Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you've got, maybe it's a half hour to an hour each of those days. On Monday, you could commence your training, warm up, and then really focus on clearing away all that stagnant chi that you've got within you. Really, really run through the exercises that we've gone through previously. And then just close it. You don't need to worry about cultivating or circulating the chi yet. Tuesday, you take a break. On Wednesday, you've got some time again. On Wednesday, you've already really cleared out the chi. So you can commence. You can do a little bit of clearing just to get yourself back in the mode. And then really, really work on cultivating. Wednesday could be your cultivation day where you really think about bringing all that chi from the environment up. You can watch the video that we've got on that. Follow along with it if you'd like. Take Thursday off. Thursday, you've got other things. Friday, you come back. And Friday is going to be your circulation day. So once again, you commence, you do some warm-ups. You maybe do a little bit of clearing, maybe a very, very short, quick cultivation. But then that's the day that you really run through your forms. You work on circulating all that chi that you've built up throughout the week. On Monday, you cleared out the old stagnant chi. On Wednesday, you built up some new stuff. You've kind of held it within your hara. And now Friday is going to be your day to express that chi, kind of get it flowing through you. And then on Friday, you close the chi out, seal it, and you're good for the weekend. Don't need to return on Monday. Maybe you've got a practice where you do Monday, Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday are your big clearing days. And you clear out chi. Wednesday is cultivation. And then Thursday, Friday is working on circulating. Okay, you always want to make sure that you clear out, just kind of like an oil change. You want to take out the old stagnant chi first. So really work on that early in your, however your practice is going to go. You want to make sure that you cultivate. Many people actually will practice the forms first, and they'll circulate the chi, and then at the end, they'll cultivate new, fresh chi. That's okay too. You always have to find a practice that works best for you. For me, I found these 5 phases to work best for me. The warming up, clearing, cultivating, circulating, and then closing. But certainly you can do these in different orders. Also, some people will just go right through the form and not really worry so much about clearing away stagnant chi or cultivating. They just go through it. And honestly, the form is designed so that you're constantly clearing, cultivating, expelling stagnant chi as you do the form. For example, as you're going through different movements where maybe you're pushing, anytime you're extending chi, you can be taking all that stagnant chi from you and pushing it out into the world, okay? When you're doing techniques like single whip, where you're pushing out, this could push out the bad chi, push out the bad chi. And then when I push that out, when I'm extending my stagnant chi out, as I'm breathing, nature abhors a vacuum. So anytime you push the old chi out, there's going to be new room, and the new chi, as you root, will naturally come up from the ground below you, up through your legs, and from above, through bakui, from the top of your head, and fill in. So anytime that you're extending your chi outward, anytime your intention is outward, you're pushing the stagnation away, and you're bringing fresh chi up. So actually just doing the form itself will get you through those. And certainly we're doing the form slowly. So warm-ups, I personally really like warm-ups and find it very beneficial to my practice. And if you were doing aerobics or weightlifting, you would definitely want to do some warm-up sets before you get into the heavy stuff. Tai Chi could be kind of the same thing where maybe you just run through your form lightly and that's your warm-up. Okay, you just do the form easily, and then as you get a little more intense with it, as you kind of warm up, you can build up. So what I'm saying is that you don't necessarily need to break these down into 5 distinct phases the way I have. You can just kind of blend them together. Cultivation comes with circulation. Clearing comes with circulation as you're moving the chi, the stagnant chi is being brought up. So you can really, really move these all together. You really do want to have a commencement though. You want to have a beginning. And of course you want to have an end. You don't want to just finish your Tai Chi form up and then just go about your day, okay? If you can do that, I question whether or not you were really putting good intention into your Tai Chi practice. And finally, the last problem that you might have is your own feelings that day. Maybe you're not feeling well. When I'm not feeling well, I find that clearing exercises really help. But sometimes I'm really not feeling good enough to even do the clearing exercises. That's when just sitting or maybe just standing might help for me. And I really kind of just check with myself, see what I need. Sometimes cultivating is the best thing I can do, especially if I'm feeling drained or if you've got a hangover, cultivation is really, really good. Well, a hangover, you definitely want to do some clearing, especially with the kidneys, okay? Those exercises we did earlier this way. And then definitely some cultivation. You want to bring some new, fresh chi in. Sickness, for me, it's usually cultivation type exercises. Whether I'm doing that standing or if I'm not feeling well enough, I can always just bring a chair. Have a seat, sitting up nice and tall. I usually put my hands right on my knees. Breathing exercises, still imagining the chi coming up from the ground and from the environment and the sky down below, and focusing it all right at my hara. And again, 5-10 minutes of just chi breathing really, really seem to help. And then, of course, there's always injuries. You want to make sure that you go easy on yourself. If you have some sort of injury, you want to go easy with that. And again, talk with the medical professional, see what you can and can't do, and be careful about where you're putting weight. If you've got ankle injuries, again, sitting meditation, you can even do some of these techniques while sitting. So you can just do the upper body. I hope this has helped. I hope that the series really gives you a way to look at your Tai Chi practice. If you've been practicing for many years and you just kind of want to have a new outlook on how to practice or how other people are doing it. And if you're brand new, I think that this is a really good, solid way to begin your practice and start looking at the ways that you can incorporate these different phases into your training. As always, thank you for hanging out, training with me. I hope to see you again very soon.